it would knock out all of them that don't admit to it. So maybe it was 20,000 satellites up there. It's all these have the ability to project three-dimensional images. They use combination of satellites to get a three-dimensional image. But this is what they're up to. The fake rapture will be projected into the sky, and they will have beams of energy coming down during that time, and people will look like they got taken out, but really they got evaporated. And some people will say, "No, you don't think I saw him get burned up. The shoes are still there. His feet ran him, or something like this. So you'll see that, and it'll confuse a lot of Christians. Then a lot of Christians will think, "Oh, I just didn't make it. Jesus came, and I knew I wasn't good enough. And I know they'll be beating themselves up, and I might as well take the mark, or I might as well kill myself, or they get depressed. And one of the things of war, because we are right in the middle of World War III right now, right in the beginning of World War III. One of the things in war is to get the enemy discouraged. That's one of the tactics. And so I suspect we're going to see a lot of these fake things with the design to get people discouraged. And you may have even seen that in your dream. You saw the guy across the street, and you went over to help him, and then all of a sudden everything changed, and you got the impression a lot of it was fake. Yeah, it was still a guy. Yeah, no, I was told, because I saw him. We saw him, because there was no one there before. Then we saw him, and he hurt his ankle and like a crack or something, so he was in pain on the ground. We went to walk over. I looked down. When I looked back up, all of a sudden there was a huge scene. There was ambulance, there was paramedics, there were people all around. And I said, "What in the world?" I just looked down, and then on my left shoulder, somebody touched my shoulder and said, "It's because it's not real." Yeah. Now, did the guy seem when you saw him with a hurt ankle? Did he seem like he was sad? He had kind of his face, which is weird though, because we were across the street and just saw him in pain. So I didn't get a chance. I know it was. I mean, deep in the dream represents. And he represents the dream interpretation. He represents the people you're helping. Your ministry is helping. He represents those people collectively. And then so the body of Christ, when these big disasters happen, or real disasters, whatever you want to call them, these great deceptions, that's what Jesus called them. So be biblically correct, we'll call them great deceptions, to design to even deceive, even if possible, even the Latin. So when these happen, there's people you're ministering to now, and some of the same people that will be discouraged or depressed, and you're there to help them. In other words, to encourage them, lift them up, and help them realize that a lot of stuff is fake. It's in other words, God is good, and He's going to help us through this, and He's with us, and so on and so. Yeah, that's I'm pretty good at dream interpretation, so I'm always happy to help if I can interpret something for people. But I believe that's what it represents. I just focused on the fact that I was told that this is not real. None of it is real. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then that's what happened in Miami. All of a sudden, you said all of a sudden the ambulance and everything, police cars or whatever. You were mad. One guy said this, or maybe a few guys call up and say, "See an alien." Normal, they would just lap 911 operator lap at him and say, "Hey, if you keep the car here, you're gonna get arrested." And just don't give it. Instead, every cop car in Miami shows that. I had okay, so I want to ask you about that, because they were like, at first they said that the news said that it was, police called to the mall because there was a fight. But if you saw the aerial view of how many police cars were at that mall and down the street, I'm like, you would think this was like some like major catastrophe. I mean, it had to been like, what, 100 police cars. It's that, or this was planned ahead of time. I mean, yeah, I'm radio and said somebody saw an alien or they're fighting the mall. It wouldn't send everybody there. It might send 2 or 3 examples later. And plus the way they did it with their sirens and all this, lots of attention. And then they went around and interviewing everybody. Did you get any photos? Let me see your phone. And delete this. The fact that it so happened because nobody had pictures. But yeah, we were deleting people's pictures. They were asking lots of people, "Did you get any pictures? Did you get any pictures? Let me see your phone." The cops. So they and I'm delete this. I had that. A lot of people testified that they deleted their pictures that they had. So again, it was most likely a project bluebeam, because they don't have to do that in the sky. They can do that right here in the ground too. They could do it in the mall. In other words, too, with projectors. They haven't set up different places. And the fact that it was glitching in and out makes me think all the more. It's similar to when they turned it off. The clouds just instantly disappeared. So the clouds themselves were faked. And as well as the demons and angels were faked. It was not like the real demons and angels. So that's what's going to fool people. And they're going to see something spectacular like that. And they're going to think it's really Jesus coming back. And so on and so forth. And it's not. In other words, there's 4 ways to not wander as a witness in your spirit. Another No, you'll know it when Jesus comes back. I mean, no doubt whatsoever in your spirit, they are in the presence of God, and it'll be a huge witness in your spirit. When Jesus shows up in even visions and dreams, Ray is no doubt whatsoever. You could have to really try, and then you couldn't even doubt. You try to doubt, you couldn't doubt. So, but that's number one. Number two is it's biblically correct, and biblically correct is 2027, in my opinion. But, you can dismiss that if you want. Number three is all the children are going under 5. When they do the spade rapture, all the children are not going under 5. Most of the children probably still be here. I mean, in the house are the bet or something like this. And so the children still be here, for the most part. They are going to try to evaporate people and so on and so far. They're playing around with all their weird, but okay, so when you say evaporate, because that's really interesting you say that, because that's what I was talking about before. I never heard that part, how you said that they have the technology to make people evaporate, almost like what happened in Maui. How, yeah, you have to look. That is technology. Yeah, that is. They already been practicing on different cities, including Maui, for quite a while. This has been going on for quite a while. The fires in California, some of them were to get rid of certain cities and take over all the land there. And so on, and yeah, so they've been using this technology for quite a while, and they can project the beam tight enough and powerful enough so it looks instant. Instead of just taking 5 minutes to burn up a car, they could burn up a person in 1 second. I guarantee it. And the trail would go up. The smoke, it tended to look like it's going up, and so it looked like people getting raptured up, getting taken up. It purposely disappeared in the smoke, and it looked like it went up, and and stuff like this. So they're gonna be great to set. Plus, they can use their holographic image to reconstruct the person going up. If they want to with a robe on, because they get different clothes, right? So something like this, they can do that. We have the technology, and it's being misused. It's been planning to be misused in a big way this year. Which fits again with my word of knowledge, your dream for sure. And there's other people that dream, like you said, and there's other people that said that as well. You got other people confirming yours. Okay, so he just passed away. I forgot what the man's name was. Tom Horn. Tom Horn passed away, but before he passed away, he said that the Lord had given him a vision of an asteroid hitting the Earth, and I believe it was in 2027. Did he say 2029? 2029? 2029. Man, what did he say? Ooh, yeah, I'm doing something right. We're gonna get some asteroids. Probably this year, but we might see a bunch of fake. Again, that's another thing they can easily do. They can make any kind of images, any kind of thing you can imagine in the sky, just like the movies. Basically, your whole screen is the whole sky. Basically, yeah. And so they can do amazing stuff nowadays that used to be only God could do it, or some really advanced which we humans didn't have this technology until about late 1980s, somewhere in there, give or take, a little bit, 90s. It was being developed, and so it's a technology of deception. The first wave is the millions of illegals that are coming in and just flooding the country, just flooding the United States, flooding Europe, most developed places in the world. And that's the first wave. The second wave is when they shut off electricity and phones, and everybody starts, and they'll let off nukes is what they'll do. And a lot of nukes probably happen in that sky, that EMPs that'll create this issue. And everybody start turning each other on the food, on the water, whatever. They different things they start suspecting. And also other types of weird attacks, sonic, whatever. Cars start, not just all cars start driving by themselves and killing people that are in the car. They take over. They can take over your car. You go ahead, and it's just been known that it tests the weird things. Yeah, any cars to me since 2006, even combustion engines can be taken over remotely, and they know how to do that. The dark side knows how to do that, and they can use them as devices to kill people. And or make it look like your neighbor killed you or something like this to get you mad at your neighbor, or something like this. On the other hand, people will start, and so basically that's the second wave where everybody kind of turns against each other. Third wave, after all the cities are burning and all this stuff, third wave is when they send in peacekeeping troops of foreign armies, and Chinese military, everybody. That peacekeeping troops, it says by peace he will destroy many. See, they have, just like God has a plan, and they have a plan. God's year, like the 10-year countdown, the tribulation, the great tribulation, and then the rescue, the great rescue, similar to what happened in Egypt. Like if you're living in Egypt, you say, God, we got these 10 plagues, they're really bad. they're killing people. Some people are dying from it. All of our, all the Egyptians are our masters or whatever, sure, for swimming across the river to get the house because we have left plagues here. But they still had some issues there. And then, of course, they were spared definitely from the 10th plague for sure. And people argue about how much they were spared from. But there was obvious, everybody agreed there was less, they had less issues. Okay, so how about the two witnesses? Because if I don't talk to there's going to be two witnesses, yeah.